Hi guys, so this video is going to be a rather quick, simple, and easy video. Now, the tips that I have to offer in this video are going to be some of the same tips that you're going to hear from a million other YouTubers and that you're going to read on a million other blogs. And it's because these tips work. The difference from what I have to say, or the very small difference of what I have to say, is finding what works for you, how to implement these things into your regimen. Um, so, like I have 4 key tips to transitioning to natural and to help you with growing your natural hair. The first thing I want to say is not one of those 4 key tips, and it's because it's something that you can't control, and it is genetics. You have to understand that genetics play a major role in the length of your hair and the type of hair that you have. So when I say the type of hair that you have, like the way that your hair looks, so the different curls and coils and kinks and things of that nature that you may have. So the reason why to me that is the most important is because you have to go into this process with an understanding that there isn't any product, there isn't any step that you can take, anything that you can do to make your hair be something other than what it is. Your natural hair, it is what it is. So you have to come to grips with that, and you have to come to an understanding with that. Once you have mastered that, and once you have conquered that portion, then you're pretty much good, the rest of the way, because you've mastered the hardest thing, something that's hard for a lot of people to deal with. Now, as far as things that you can do or things that you should be doing that will in return give you healthy hair, and healthy hair grows, like you don't have to do anything to healthy hair to make it grow. You just need to make sure that you are focused on the health of your hair. Everything else after that will fall into place. Now, for me, in my opinion, the number one thing that assisted me with growing my hair, and also the number one thing that helped me get through my transition with dealing with my 2 textures of my hair, was the low manipulation, or protective styling. So for me, um, the number one style that I did that just it worked, it was easy, it didn't take a lot, was bunning. So just putting your hair in a bun. Now, the number one thing that I will say that you want to be very careful of is not doing your buns too tight, because if you do it too tight, this part of the hair at the back, it can break off. So you just want to be kind of careful about that. And no matter, whenever you're, pulling your hair all back, putting it into any type of ponytail, you want to make sure that it's not too tight. I get it. You want it to be tight enough to, kind of feel like it's in place and it's not going to move, but at the same time, you don't want to damage your hair for the sake of a ponytail. That would be kind of silly. So you just want to, keep that in mind. And then as far as like protective styles, I used to do 2-strand twists all the time, and it was kind of something that I stumbled upon as far as the updos are concerned. And it was because when I first did my mini chop, and my 2-strand twist finally started looking right, because all of the permed hair was gone. My twist finally started looking right, but they wouldn't lay right because the hair wasn't long enough. It wasn't heavy enough to make it lay like I wanted to. So I was forced to pin them up to make them look cute. And it worked. It's a way for you to kind of just leave your hair alone. You can just, let it do what it needs to do. So I highly recommend. If not, it's not something you have to do forever, but it is something that can help your hair. So protective styling, for most naturals, it does work. It doesn't work for everybody though. So you got to kind of just try it and see what happens. And if it works, then that's good. So that was number one. So low manipulation and protective styling was number one for, my number one tip that helped me through my transition and also helped me to retain a lot of my length. And then number two is making sure to keep your scalp clean. Now, as far as this is concerned, you have several options of things that you can do. You can, shampoo, and you can either use a sulfate-free shampoo, which is what I use, or you can use a sulfate shampoo. If you're using products that have, you know, all those different ingredients in them, then you kind of need that sulfate shampoo to strip those products out. But one thing that you can do is just not use those products. So that's something that you learn what works best for your hair. Now, if you don't want to shampoo, you can co-wash, which for those of you who may not know, co-wash is conditioner washing. So conditioner has the same cleaning agents as shampoo. So conditioners can cleanse your hair. That is if you are not using, those heavier products on your hair. So like perfect example is I'm doing a wash and go now. The only thing I have on my hair is a light oil and gel. For me, the Herbal Essence Hello Hydrations will it'll get my hair nice and clean. I'm not using it right now, but that is something that, if you're looking for a cheap conditioner that you want to possibly co-wash with, that is one that so many naturals use, and it's just something that it works really good. It's very good about, helping to moisturize your hair, things of that nature. And if you don't want to do co-washing, you can also do an ACV rinse, which is apple cider vinegar rinse, and you basically mix like equal parts apple cider vinegar and regular water, and then you spray it on your scalp only, and then you use the use your fingers, not the tips of your fingers, but the palms of your fingers. I think that's what it's called, and then you just kind of go around and you cleanse that way. You can also use the clay, which you can use on your skin, but it also is good to pull the impurities, pull things, the dirt, grime, everything out of your scalp, and you just wash it out. You cleanse it that way. There's also mud that you can purchase. I know Natural 85, she has a bunch of videos on the mud that she used to cleanse her hair. So things like that. So you have several options. I would recommend kind of doing trial and error, seeing what works for you, doing some research, seeing why, some people say, you should stay away from sulfates. You can use them, do co-washing, just kind of play around with it and see what works for you. I have personally done all of those things except for the mud, and it's just because I didn't want to buy it, and that was my only reason why I didn't do it. Um, but all of them have worked for me during various times, depending on the condition of my hair, my scalp, things of that nature. Um, so that number two was keeping your scalp clean. Now, number three, which is very vital in the health of your hair, is deep conditioning your hair with a moisturizing deep conditioner, or doing protein treatments, things like that. To me, they go hand in hand. They're in the same category. Um, so I deep condition my hair every other time I shampoo, or as needed. So if I shampooed last week and I deep conditioned last week, if this week I feel like my hair needs to be deep conditioned, then I'm going to go ahead and deep condition it. Or if I co-wash my hair tomorrow and my hair is feeling a certain kind of way, I'm going to deep condition it. I do it as needed. So that's something you got to kind of play around with and see how it works out for you. And then the last tip that I have is keeping heat usage down to a minimum. For me right now, I'm doing like twice a year as far as like straightening my hair is concerned. And I just make sure that, it's just something I'm comfortable with. Like I haven't experienced heat damage in a major way or anything of that nature. Every single time I, heat style my hair, once put, I don't even have to put product on it. Once the water hits on it, it's the curls are back. Like I don't have an issue with it. So, it is different for different people, but I do see that not doing it as often has, contributed to me growing my hair. So those are all the tips that I have. If you guys have any questions, want me to get a little more specific, please feel free to leave the comments below. Thumbs up the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and thanks for watching. Bye.